nation, welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Fulham against Chelsea. Fulham are they are such a Premier League team, and what I mean by that, they're like Crystal Palace. We used to say West Ham as well, but they're not that team anymore. Where they can beat you and lose week in, week out, it wouldn't matter. One week they'll beat you 5-0, next week they could lose 5-0, and they're just sort of a team that you never really quite know what they're doing. But this season, Fulham were finding a little bit of form here and there, and just to lose it at the end against Chelsea is probably very disappointing for them. But we're going to cover some of the problems here. Like watch this, okay? So you can see, look, he's had a look. The Chelsea player, he's had a look. He can see that he's being hunted down. He can see that someone is coming to try to win the football from him. Well, which, by the way, which is a first in the Premier League, because genuinely they normally don't. They just try to intercept passes, and that comes down to the poor managing and training that they do. And actually do tackling, they do interception of passes. That's a whole different topic. Check out one of my coaching videos, and you'll learn more about that there. But look, you can see, look how lackadaisical he is. Not trying to move forward, not trying to sprint forward, not trying to start an attack, just being lazy. And this sort of, I don't know where this is coming from, to be honest. Especially like Chelsea have got some. I thought they were going to do much better this season, but I still think they've got some fundamental problems with their mentality through the squad, and it can take years and years to change it. And I have a feeling this sort of attitude right here is what's going on. Look how casual this is. He's waiting for him to come. You can see he knows he's coming because he's trying to challenge him. You can see he's putting his body in and trying to slam him. You know, you can see that's what's going on. So there's two people fighting for the ball. He's looking to get a free kick to go down easy. Bump. The ref can see it. The ref can see exactly what he was doing. I can see it. You know, you can see he's like being casual. As the challenge comes, and then fall over. Plain as day, he's trying to get a cheap free kick. Absolutely plain as day. Ref doesn't buy it. Now all of a sudden, you cost your team a goal. And you know he realises it, because when he's on the ground, he has a little kick out just to try to win the ball there. And he knows he's done wrong. He's like, uh-oh. Yeah, and the ref caught me trying to look at the player. Because remember, he jogged quite a while, from about here all the way to about there. And you can see him. He looked at the guy. And as soon as he came there, he's trying to slam into him and fall on the ground and get a free kick. But yeah, it's quite interesting the ref didn't buy it, because normally he would have. But as we know the rule, someone has got their hand up telling somebody what to do, so we know in the next 5 seconds someone's going to score a goal. I say this every single week. Every week. There isn't a game. It doesn't happen. Well, at least once a week it happens in the Premier League when a player is trying to tell somebody else what to do instead of doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is he right now needs to be going to this football. There's no player closer than him. He can't go because he's the last line there. He's in front of him. He goes to the ball to win it. What are you doing? Oh, that's right. You're trying to tell somebody else what to do instead of actually playing the game of football. I can remember this back in, might have been sort of 2007, 2009-ish when I was coaching. And I was listening to the way how poor a lot of these new coaches were coming up. And their players could articulate what the coach wanted them to do, but couldn't actually do it. Does that make sense? Because, oh yeah, we're trying to play a dynamic pressure pocket with a 4-4-2 with a collapsing overlap and a third man running down the line. Yeah, but none of you could do it. You might be able to tell me what you're supposed to be doing, but you can't do what you said you were supposed to be doing. None of you. So this is another classic example of telling someone to do and how to play football instead of just coming towards the ball and trying to win the football. And because he's so lazy getting there, it's just a simple pass across, bump. Look, you might as well have not bothered running or doing anything, because it didn't make any difference. He didn't try to get there. He didn't try to win the ball. He just kind of went through the motions, pointing, I'm going, you need to cover. No, just go win the football, mate. You got all the time in the world to put pressure on him. And of course, when you start running at somebody, it makes them panic. It makes them subconsciously try to do something or try to, pull off something. But there we go. Simple pass here. Boom, takes a touch. And of course, nobody's close enough here to do anything, because of course the ball was lost on transition and it was too quick to go the other way. And now, can he find his spot? Yeah, puts it straight through his legs, and it's one of those little daisy cut T-rollers. I actually think the keeper should have done better there. Should have done much better on that save. It's too lazy, too slow. Yeah, but let's move it on. Okay, so when we move this forward, I want you to pay attention to a couple of little distances. So the ball's going to travel to there. But I want you to watch this, okay? They're the distances that we're concerned about when the ball arrives here. So just have that in your mind's eye of how far apart these defenders are. Okay, so you see he's jogged over because Now the ball is moved. It's kind of, it's not, yeah, it's probably about there, right? It's in this area here. That's where we'll say, right? So he's jogged over as the left back to go over. The centre back has not moved. Can you see how much bigger that gap is there? Where he should have just come across and stayed with his teammate there, but he doesn't. He genuinely doesn't know how to play football. So what he's done, he's stayed marking the player. But what that's happened is, I mean, this is so basic. I don't understand how these guys are professional football players. What that's allowed is this massive gap there. Can you see that? That gap now is huge because he's gone over wrongly, but he's gone over in case the ball is played. So he's making sure that he's close enough to challenge for the ball, which is fair. Okay, you can say that's a fair thing to do. So that means he's come over as well. Great, you should have a centre back behind him. Oh, he doesn't. And now you've got all sorts of problems because you've got this massive gap there. So that opens the space for a terrible pass to go into. That's huge. Now, I talk about body shape all the time, and it's very important because it shows you the IQ of a football player. What I mean is football IQ. Do they understand? Do they do silly things wrong that wastes time where they can't challenge for the ball? So he was running this way. Look, now his shoulders are this way. Is he going to do a complete pirouette and run this way? Let's watch. Whoop! Yeah, he does. Now look at where he's facing, but he's running backwards. Now he's facing this way. And which way is the striker facing? This way. He's gone out. Completely lost. What should have happened right now is he should have stepped over and won this ball. Easy. Job done. But he's too far away. He didn't track with his teammate. Imagine you're on a 10-foot piece of string and you've got to keep that rope tight. And as he goes, you have to go because otherwise, the actual string will snap. You have to go across with him. In this case, he would have snapped the string and you can see there's a gap there. So what happens is when this ball plays in, bump, look, now he runs away from the player who was marking, just runs back instead of actually just stepping here and challenging for this ball and getting rid of it. Why is this important for him? Because, well, his idiot teammate ran this way, has done a big full circle like that for some reason, and he could have just played the way he was facing. He was right there, run up, win the ball, and go. Instead, he chose to run backwards from here, run backwards, facing this way as the ball is bouncing there. I mean, this is unbelievable. It really is. These players in the Premier League are so bad nowadays. People comment about why there's no interesting and exciting games. It's because the players cannot play football. They don't know what they're doing. So when this challenge comes in here, boom, what's this? Boom, this here, this has to be a clearance. Right now, if you can get your foot on it as a defender, look. By the way, look at this. Look at this. Where are you going? Not only did you fail to come over here, then you decided not to mark him. Then you just ran back over. Like, why are you running back here? Here's your line. Here's your defensive line. You've run past it and gone over there. It's just awful. So right now, this has to be a clearance. If you can touch this ball, what I mean by clearance, are you getting it clear? You're just really hitting the ball as hard as you can in whichever direction you can, which is the way you're facing. Look, and it's just a little poke. That needed to be a full-on bump. I'm putting it out to the sideline, smash it away with me toe, get rid of it. Because what you've just done, if you don't do that, is you've passed the ball into the middle of the field. I don't know if you know this, because the Premier League footballers don't. The goal is in the middle of the field. So as he pokes it, it's a simple 1-2 in the back of the net. So simple. The defensive mistakes are massive. Look, you can see he turned around and looking at his mate. He's still running. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like, does it count if the ball goes in the goal? I'm not sure. Do we still keep defending? Because he hasn't got a bloody clue what he's doing. Let's move it on. Okay, so we're going to pick it up here. After a little bit of a spinny move, you can get done from a decent 1-2 in midfield out here. Okay, you can. That's fine. But you've got enough players back. Look, you've got 5 players back to deal with the situation. You're absolutely fine. So as they start the counter, you can try to put pressure on the ball, except for the fact that no Premier League team no Premier League team understands how to win a football. Right, so if you think of it this way, he's doing nothing and he is doing nothing. Here's the football. He needs to be stepping towards it, right? Because he can't tackle him, right? He can't get anywhere near him. Because if he comes into the side here, all he's going to do, if he goes anywhere near him, all he's going to do is pass it, right? If he comes in there, perfect. If he passes it, he steps across and takes the ball, right? It's that simple. One goes, the other one covers. If he goes, there's no real cover. If he puts it, so What I mean by that, look, it's because there's a player running here. That's what I mean. So if he's trying to do anything, he can go down the line, or if he pressures, he can just turn and play it here and open up this space here. So he can't leave because there's 1, 2 players there. He can because there's only one player and he got a covering player. Fantastic, brilliant. There's that ball back into the midfield I'm talking about. That's what he needs to now recover. You can see he's trying to make a recovery run, get back into this space, and then trying to deal with it. Now this is your opportunity. So what's ended up happening is he's got you back into his space. Perfect. He's done his little recovery run. Someone else has come blistering back to help. And I think it's Cole Palmer. Just uses a little bit of skill, turns, and the ball ends up going back out here. But when it does, look at the spacing and the distance of these two Muppets in midfield for Fulham. 1, 2. See, he's come too far over. He was in a perfect position where he was there. Didn't need to put pressure on the ball because his teammate was. He couldn't pass the ball out there because he was there. The moment he's come over here to get involved for no reason, it's just opened up the flank again. He's just stepped inside 3-4 yards and opened up the outside. All cop-eyed. Look, there's 2 players now stood there. Neither of them challenging for the ball, neither of them going to the ball, but what they have done is open up that space out wide because he should have been where he was a couple of seconds ago, stood about there, and he would have been able to intercept that pass, and he would have been able to pressure the ball. Look, both of them are stood there waiting to see, oh, are you going to go, mate, or am I going to go? Tell you what, neither are you going to go. And he knocks the ball out wide, boom, and there we go. Don't worry. Remember that centre-back that doesn't know how to play football that we pointed out a minute ago? Here he is, not marking in the middle. He's running away from the player that he should be marking. He's looking at the football, and he's running away from the player in the middle. I want you to have a little look. Look, there he is. Before we start this, at the start of the play, as soon as the ball goes out here, look, there he is. There's Neto running in behind him. He's got no awareness of what is going on in this game of football at all. Now, when that ball's played and it comes in, okay. Oh, by the way, the pass is great. The reason he's able to do this little spin move and volley it into the corner is because the pass is so good. If the pass isn't good enough, he wouldn't be able to do it. But have a look at what the centre backs are doing. We've got 1, kind of not marking. 2, understanding here's the football and reacting and going towards it. 3, our protagonist decided to walk away from the football again and just walk on. I don't know what he's over here. He's definitely got a bet on the game. Definitely got a bet on the game because he's just left this guy completely unmarked. Didn't even know he's there. As he takes a touch, look how far back he is away from the ball. He's just got no idea what he's doing. I don't know how he's playing football. I really don't. He's run away from the player, hasn't marked him, hasn't known he's there, and he's deeper than everybody else on the team again. Let's see if he chases the ball when it goes into the goal to see if he understands the footballs. But a great little spin turn here by Neto. It's really, really quality first touch. Smashes it, top corner, bosh. Thank you very much. Yeah, mate, you're terrible at football. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.